It's not the critic who counts, who points out how the strong man stumbles, or how the doer could have done better. The credit belongs to the man in the arena, whose face is marked by dust, sweat, and blood, who's striving valiantly, who falls, who comes up short again and again, because there's no effort without ever or shortcoming. Gonna be the man in the arena, gonna turn the doubters into believers, only owe it to God and the man in the mirror to be the man in the arena. I'm striving to do the deeds, I'm knowing great enthusiasm, I'm working with great devotion, and if I die for a worthy cause.
This is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film. And today I am thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed singer, songwriter, violinist, vocalist, guitarist, pianist, he does it all, Mr. Scott Tran. Hello, Scott, how are you?
I'm good, Will. How are you?
Scott, it is so nice to meet you. And I'm so excited that the audience got a little sneak peek of your incredible talent with your song based upon the famous Theodore Roosevelt quote, "The man in the arena." Before I ask you my question, I want to let you know that has been atop my vision board for 25 years. And it is my favorite quote of all time. It is one that I recite all the time, and a quote that I look at every single day. So I just want to let you know, personally, it means the world to me. And I want to know for you, and I'm sure to many, but for you, I want to know how the song idea came about.
Well, you must have put that up when you were 5 first, but
You're very sweet. I have under eye makeup this morning, Scott, just for you.
So, but I came across that during a very difficult time in my life, and someone had actually recommended to me to watch one of Brene Brown's TED Talks, and she wrapped up with the famous "Man in the Arena" quotes from Theodore Roosevelt, and for me that became an anchor for me during what was a very difficult time in my life. And so for me, I've always had the sense of when something's really important, I set it to music. And so I ended up setting that to music, and it still is my first and only single as of right now. But for me, I'm very proud of it. And I'm really, I know it's been very inspiring for other people as well. And so it continues to motivate me to keep going.
I love it so much. I mean, and if you hear some squeaking in the background, my 2 dogs are playing with their toy, probably just trying to get in to the Scott Tran music world. While you're like playing all these instruments, here they are squeaking. So my apologies for that. But Scott, it is so moving. And I love the fact that I think you 4-dimensionalized the quote by just adding a buoy of an emotional landscape through your musical landscape. Oh, and now my dogs are very excited. I'm curious to know, Scott, when did you realize for you that violin was a very special instrument?
It has been, even before I played it, I wanted to play it. And it was just because of just the circumstances that I lived in. We weren't able to start me on lessons until it was available within the school. And so I had wanted to play since I had first heard, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. And so it always had been important. And I've always been interested in alternative rock music, and also had been in symphony and orchestra. And for a long time, just sort of took it for granted that I would never actually marry these two worlds of my love of rock and folk and all these other styles. And then I had my violin, but then I started to play when I moved in Arizona. In 2005, I started to play in more bluegrass settings. And I had always loved to just take a pop line and play it on the violin. And I started to play in cover bands, and then I actually began to use violin much more, sometimes playing the guitar line and the band setting. And then I began to experiment more with playing violin. And then it was finally when I moved to New York and I came here and I went to a singer-songwriter workshop, and I had been playing guitar, but then I brought my violin and then I played a song where I was just playing violin and singing. And my coaches were immediately, that's what you have to do. And I said, yeah, but do you realize how hard it is to play and sing the violin? And they said, I don't care how hard it is, you got to do that. So,
Well, it makes you stand out, my friend. And there's something, again, that's so beautiful. It's like you create an epic and emotional well with something so intimate and moving. I'm curious to know, Scott, obviously these past 18 months have been tough for all artists, and what you were able to do to keep your creative juices flowing during this time.
I've had, I've found other sources to be able to promote those outlets. I was still able to be very involved with a vocal studio that I had started taking coaching with early on when I moved to New York. And I've been writing. I'm really excited to get a point where I can actually put all the writing into an album. And so that's really the next step, is just to be able to get back into the studio and take all the songs that I've written during this entire pandemic, to be able to do that. But I have been playing online a lot and using that as a way to share the music, and then also to be able to communicate with other people. So that's been something that's been really keeping me going. But I've been very blessed to start playing live again in the past few months, and fingers crossed that we can stay in that arena.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of arenas, I'm so excited that with FENIX 360, this new arena, you're going to be able to connect with artists and fans and friends and family, not only in this country, but around the world, and an arena for you to continue to play and spread your very unique, authentic fusion of music and songs. I want to let the audience know how they can download their very own SCOTT personalized app on their home screen. Because of the power of editing, we are going to put a bunch of screenshots up, and I'm going to describe how you can just do that. https://scotttran.fenix.band. That's SCOTTTRAN.fenix.band. Click that add button, then click that add to home screen button, and voila. Next to your favorite apps, you have Scott's beautiful face, and click in there for any and all updates, live streams, merch, songs, all of the links to all of his socials. Scott, question for you. What are you most excited about joining FENIX and the idea of being able to connect with so many artists and people?
You used the word that I was excited from the moment you said it, connection. I think it's going to be such a brilliant and amazing way to connect with other fans, other artists. And I think what we really need, we mentioned about the pandemic, is fostering community within the artists, within the other fans, because I think right now it's been very difficult for us to connect with one another. So this, to me, the connection is key.
Well, you mentioned another word that's very important, and I know North Stars for the CEOs and all that work with FENIX 360, not only to collaborate and to connect, but truly create a community. And Scott, I'm so grateful for your time, and I'm happy that we're connected now too.
Me too. Thank you, Will. You've been absolutely fabulous.
Oh, thanks, Scott. You too.
Thank you.